Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Today I'm talking about why I ditched my iPhone 10 and decided to go back to the iPhone 8 Plus. Let's go ahead and get started. So I was using the iPhone 10 since it came out. I was using it for, I'd say, about a month. And the first issue I had before the month was up is I had to get my iPhone replaced because the battery was overheating with any little usage I would do on my iPhone. The battery would overheat. So that's fine. I walked into the Apple store and they gave me a brand new iPhone 10. About 3 weeks later, my top earpiece speaker started to go. I couldn't hear anything on phone calls, and audio just sounded horrible when I was watching a video or even playing music. The only speaker that would work would be the bottom speaker on my iPhone 10. So at this point, I'm thinking, this is really a first generation product. It really reminded me of how the original iPhone was. There was no app store, you couldn't even set your own wallpaper. And it's very similar to the iPhone 10, how there's some glitches Apple needs to work out, and I really think Apple needs a few years to perfect this phone before I would use it as my daily driver. So before I encountered any more issues, I decided to go ahead and pick up my iPhone 8 Plus and start using this as my daily driver. I put my SIM card in it, and I have been so much happier with this phone than my iPhone 10. I know the iPhone 10 is more expensive, but more expensive doesn't always mean that the phone is going to be better. So here's my experience with the iPhone 8 Plus and why I'm deciding to use this over my iPhone 10. So the first thing is Touch ID. In my opinion, Face ID just isn't fast, and I unlock my phone when I get out of bed, and Face ID doesn't work when you're lying on your side. So if you're able to unlock your phone that fast, it is not that fast with Face ID. You have to tap your screen to unlock it. Make sure it's aligned perfectly with your face. It scans your face, then you have to swipe up to get into your phone. With this, it's just one touch to turn on your screen, and then while you're touching it, it'll scan your finger and you'll get right into your phone. So Apple has had years since the iPhone 5S came out. They've had years to perfect Touch ID, and here on the iPhone 8 Plus, it has the second generation Touch ID sensor, and it is blazing fast. And that is just one of the reasons I decided to keep my iPhone 8 Plus instead of my iPhone 10. Another reason is Control Center. I use Control Center every single day, multiple times a day, and the fact that on the iPhone 8 Plus and other iPhones it's still here at the bottom is a huge benefit for me. I really don't like on the iPhone 10 how you have to reach up to the very top right. I know the body is smaller, so it is easier to reach up with your thumb, but it just is more convenient to swipe up from the bottom. And like I said before in a few other videos, when the iPhone 10 first came out, because Apple eliminated the home button, it seems like they jumped through way too many hoops just to get the iPhone 10 to work without a home button. They moved Control Center, they renamed the lock button the side button. To turn it off, you have to press and hold volume and power. So it just seems like they're jumping through too many hoops and doing too many things just because they eliminated the home button. And I really like how Control Center is still at the bottom and not at the top right like it was on the iPhone 10. Another thing is the keyboard. The keyboard on the iPhone 8 Plus is much better. Now, if you go from typing on an iPhone 8 Plus to an iPhone 10, you are going to notice a difference. The keys on the iPhone 8 Plus are just so much wider. The keys are almost a square shape, and then you go to the iPhone 8 Plus, and the keys are actually squished together and really narrow. Actually, if I do this and I make my keyboard that size, that's almost the size that it is on the iPhone 10. Maybe not that small, but the keys on the iPhone 10 are as narrow as these keys right here, and I really do prefer the wider typing experience on the iPhone 8 Plus. The last and final thing I'll discuss is media consumption. The iPhone 10 is, I think, an 18:9 aspect ratio, or if it's not, you can correct me in the comments below. But it just isn't optimized for any media consumption just yet, because people are still making videos in a 16:9 aspect ratio. And when I'm watching videos on my 8 Plus, everything is large and it fills the entire screen. There's no letterboxing on the sides. On the iPhone 10, you can fill the whole screen, but you do lose content because you are pinching into zoom, and it is cutting away some of your content just to fill up the whole screen. And of course, the notch is still there on the side of the screen when you're watching something, but that's a different story. So pretty much I like the iPhone 8 Plus because it has a traditional 16:9 aspect ratio. Call me conservative, but I just don't want to move on to a different, taller aspect ratio when media and videos that are being released right now are still in 16:9. So guys, I guess you could say I like the iPhone 8 Plus because it's tried and true. It is, very, very well optimized from Apple. This is perfected. Apple came out with this design in 2014 with the iPhone 6, then they had the 6S, then the 7, and now they have the 8, and this design is completely perfected, and I really do love this phone. So tell me in the comments if you agree with what I said. If you don't, you can tell me also. My name is Mike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.